Namaskar everyone. Now this is the third video of chapter double entry system. In this chapter we will discuss the stages and parts of double entry system, advantages and disadvantages of double entry system. So let's start with the first, that is stages and parts of double entry system. There are three stages of double entry system, that is original record, classification and summary. Now in the previous video, that is in chapter number first, I already discussed or told you that first of all transactions are recorded in the books of original entry, that is called journal, if the business runs on a small scale. But if the business run on large scale, then instead of journal we will prepare the subsidiary book. So the first stage of double entry system to record the transaction in journal or subsidiary book, that is called original record. Now the second stage of double entry system is classification. After the preparation of journal or subsidiary books, the transactions are classified into separate account in which similar nature of transactions are recorded at one place, that is called ledger. So classification is done in the form of ledger, and classification is the secondary stage of double entry system. Now third stage is summary. Now after the classification of ledger, we have to make the total of each account and find out the balances of ledger account. And on the balances of ledger account, we will prepare the trial balance. If the total of debit and credit side of trial balance is equal, then the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger account is proved. Now on the basis of trial balance, we will finally prepare trading P&L and balance sheet to know about the profit and loss as well as the financial position of the business. So that is called summary. So original record will done in the form of journal or subsidiary books, classification will done in the form of ledger, and summary will done in the form of trial balance, and on the basis of trial balance we will prepare trading P&L and balance sheet. That is final accounts. So this is the stages and part of double entry system. Now we talk about the advantages of double entry system. There are number of advantages of double entry system. Let's start one by one. First one is scientific system. Why it is a scientific system? Because in double entry system, the transactions are recorded on the basis of certain specified rules. And what are their specified rules? That is called personal, real and nominal. Second, complete system of every transaction. In double entry system, all transactions, whether related to personal, real or nominal, are recorded in the books of accounts and in a chronological wise or chronological order, that is called date wise. Third, preparation of trial balance. With the help of double entry system, we can prepare trial balance which shows the arithmetical accuracy of ledger account. Now with the help of trial balance, we can prepare the trading and P&L account to know about or to ascertain the gross profit and gross loss as well as the net profit and net loss. Now with the help of trial balance or double entry system, we can get the information about the financial position of the business, that is called asset and liability on a particular date. So these are the first 5 point advantages of double entry system. Now move to the 6th point, knowledge of various information. With the help of double entry system, we can ascertain or we can find out various other information like total debtors, total creditors, expenses of the business, income of the business, losses of the business, stock at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year. So knowledge of various information can be gathered from the double entry system. Now if we are following the double entry system, then we are recording the debit and credit of each and every transactions. So if we are recording the debit and credit of each transaction, that is called twofold aspect, then there is a lesser possibility of fraud. Next one is legal approval. Double entry system is legally approved in our country. and the rules or the norms followed by double entry system is approved by the Companies Act and the various other acts. Next one is comparative study. If the accountant or the management want to compare the expenses of 1 year with another year or income and gain of 1 year with another year, then this can be possible only by the help of double entry system. So comparative study can be possible only in case of double entry system. Next, help management decision making. Double entry system provide the fast and the reliable information. So that's help the management in decision making. And double entry system is suitable for all types of businessmen, whether it is a partnership, proprietorship or company. So this is all about the advantages of double entry system. Now disadvantages of double entry system. There are 4 disadvantages of double entry system. First, complex system. Why double entry system is a complex system? Because it needs a special knowledge or a training to apply the rule of debit and credit. So for applying the double entry system, each person must have the knowledge of debit and credit or rule of personal, real and nominal account. So it is a complex system. Second, double entry system is a time consuming activity or time consuming process, or we can say the cost consuming because it is quite expensive. Double entry system is unsuitable for small firms. It is generally suitable for the large firm or a firm deal on large scale or work on large scale. And fourth one is, as I already told you, that double entry system help us in preparing the trial balance. And if the total of trial balance is equals debit equals to credit, then it shows the arithmetical accuracy of the ledger account. But sometimes even if the trial balance agree or totaled, then it is failed to disclose the certain errors. So these are the 4 disadvantages of double entry system. Now, which kind of errors that double entry system is failed to disclose? In next slide, we'll discuss about the 4 types of error. First one is error of omission. What do you mean by error of omission? If we forgot or if we have not recorded the transaction in the books of original entry. So that is called error of omission. So if the transaction altogether unrecorded in the books of original entry, it is called error of omission. Second, error of commission. If wrong amount is recorded in the books of original entry, suppose instead of 10,000 we have recorded 1,000. So this is considered as an error of commission. Now third one is error of principal. What do you mean by error of principal? If the amount is recorded on the correct side, though in a wrong account. So means you have recorded the correct amount, correct side, but in the wrong account. Instead of furniture, you have recorded in the purchase account, but in both the sided, it will be debited. Now fourth one is compensating error. If one error is rectified by the another error or offsets by the another error, then it is called compensating error. So these are the 4 errors which generally recorded or we generally found in the trial balance. Even after that your trial balance agree. So these are the 4 kind of disadvantages as well as the types of error in the books of account. Thank you so much.